Hello world, Cossy here, and it's been a very long time since I've said this, but welcome to Geek Movie News. Now, I know what you're thinking. One, you've grown a beard, which I have. Two, you haven't done this show in like 5 years. That is also true. And three, you're bringing it back on a Wednesday, which was your original day for Geek Movie News. That is also true. I'm hopefully going to do this semi-regularly, if not regularly again. I'm going to stick with this video to the original format and just go through some Geek Movie and Geek TV highlights, things that have come up in the news over the last week. If you like that, let me know. Or if you prefer me to do shorter videos based on things as they pop up, and rather than a wrap-up show, let me know. I'm playing with the format at the moment. We'll stick with the original. So let's get into it. Let's start with X-Men Dark Phoenix. So this is now the 12th movie in Fox's X-Men movie franchise. And it's not been performing particularly well at the box office in the United States. Globally, it has brought in $136 million as of today, but 103.7 million of that is global box office. So it's actually brought in the lowest domestic box office figure of any X-Men movie. I haven't had a chance to see the movie yet. I am told it's not great. Although some people have told me it's still better than X-Men 3 Last Stand, and you know, most things are. But that is a bad sign for the X-Men franchise, considering the high that we are on when it comes to comic book movies, especially with Avengers Endgame this year, and how well that has performed. It's quite shocking. Perfectly honest, it is quite shocking. Even though we've seen some terrible X-Men movies, Apocalypse for me was awful. They've still performed well at the box office. People have still given money and actually gone to see them. But it looks like people are burnt out with the X-Men franchise. Maybe Disney's picked them up at the right time. Maybe we can see, this as the last mainstream X-Men movie. I know there's potentially still a New Mutants if they ever bloody release it, and that's going to be sort of a different take on the superhero franchise, with it being more horror-based. But at the moment, X-Men Dark Phoenix is not performing well. It's not getting good reviews from critics or from people who are actually going and paying the money to see it in the cinema. And let's hope that Disney and Marvel Studios can do something positive going forward with the X-Men. Speaking of the X-Men, again, there is a rumour circulating that Disney Plus may resurrect the fantastic X-Men animated series from the 90s. We're not talking about a new animated project. We've seen them do that quite a lot with like Spider-Man and the X-Men. But actually pick up where the original series ended with season 5 and move on. Same animation style, same voice actors, and just adapt some of the newer storylines that have sort of been in the comic books since that point, things like House of M. I am very excited. Most of you know my love of the X-Men and my love of the animated series. It is one of the best animated series of all time. That and the Spider-Man animated series and Batman the animated series in the 90s, they were my jam. They were just fantastic. They've aged very, very well and are still very enjoyable and watchable today, which is a huge credit to how well they were written. And I would love to see this. Disney Plus, they're ramping it up with all of these shows that they're saying they're going to be doing. A Loki show, a Vision and Scarlet Witch show, now looking at doing some animated shows. And I think that bringing back that 90s X-Men cartoon, especially that amazing theme tune, that would be fantastic. Not only nostalgia, but to introduce that to new viewers, to younger viewers whose parents potentially could have been watching that, and can bring them into the X-Men. And the X-Men the way they should have been portrayed in the movie franchises. That was the way people wanted to see them. That's the way that they remembered them, was that cartoon. So if it's true, Disney, it's an excellent move. Okay, moving over to DC now. Now they have their own streaming platform that's available in the US. For those like myself here in Europe, we are getting the exclusive shows seemingly through Netflix. If the Titans series is anything to go by, and I believe Doom Patrol is going to be coming on at some point in the future if people haven't used nefarious means to watch them already. The biggest show that they've released in the last couple of weeks, and has been accepted very well by fans and critics, is Swamp Thing. It was cut from 13 to 10 episodes very late on, but it all seemed to be going positive. But it has been cancelled, and it doesn't seem to really be a clear reason why DC have cancelled this. Now, originally there was talk of there being a problem with a tax rebate from North Carolina, which was where this was filmed, but those rumours seemingly have been sort of crushed by the sort of representatives of North Carolina themselves. No one really understands what's going on here. It's a show that the series producers, writers, stars were looking at running out for at least 3 seasons, with the potential of spin-offs, including a Justice League Dark series, which would have been fantastic, especially if we could have brought back Matt Ryan as Constantine for that. Executive producer James Wan on his Instagram posted a picture of Swamp Thing with the following: "Don't really know or understand why Swamp Thing was cancelled, but I can tell you this: all the cast and crew and producing writing team poured their hearts into this. Really proud of everyone's hard work. Go watch episode 2 and immortalise these 10 episodes. Swampy deserves it." And those who've seen it so far would agree with that. What do you think? Why have they cancelled Swamp Thing? Some Netflix news for you, especially if you're a video game fan. Now, Netflix have picked up the rights to produce a film adaptation of Tom Clancy's The Division, the popular video game which we have seen receive a sequel this year. Now, no news on when, who is involved, just that Netflix has picked up the rights and they will be moving forward with a Division movie at some point in the near future. Looking at the treatment of the Castlevania series with their animated show, I'm hoping that maybe this goes down an animated route, but if it does go a live action, that it gets the same sort of treatment that did, that it sticks very close to the heart of the actual game, what made people want to invest in that universe, in that world, and that, like other Netflix adaptations, it could be hugely successful and lead to hopefully more video game shows, more video game movies being produced for the streaming service. Right guys, so they're my main highlights of Geek Movie news for this week. Is there anything I missed? Let me know down in the comments. What do you think? Are you excited to see these new projects? Are you surprised about the performance of Dark Phoenix? Again, let me know in the comments. As always, like, subscribe, smack that bell so that you are aware of when new videos come up. And until next time, au revoir.